Hello lovely viewers, you are most welcome to our channel Poetry Online. In this lesson, we shall be discussing The Lion and the Jewel. Our discussion will be limited to the second part of the book, titled Noon. Kindly subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get updates on all our new videos. Once again, let us assure you of a very interesting discussion. Get ready for this lesson. The next act, Noon, advances the plot in a number of significant ways. At the opening of the act, Lakunle seems to be completely defeated by the triumphant Sidi, who appears to be getting the better half of Baroka as well. But this act also brings out something in Sidi we didn't see earlier. She seems to have been influenced by Lakunle's new ideas. She's not as differential towards tradition as she had appeared earlier to be. Act 2 opens with Lakunle following Sidi and carrying a bundle of firewood, which she should have been carrying according to the demands of the custom. This is a reversal of what should normally be happening. Again, Lakunle thinks himself as a modern man, but he is presented as someone who is misguided and without dignity, particularly as Sidi shows neither appreciation nor respect for what he does for her. He is playing the role of a woman, and indeed, throughout the scene, Lakunle is hardly a man. Sidi treats him like a little child, asking him to be quiet and not to be tiresome. However, her reproaches only revoke him into more ridiculous behavior. He gets down on his knees, for this is his idea of European romance, and begins to cover Sidi's hand with kisses, calling her all manner of biblical names, which of course means absolutely nothing to Sidi. Lakunle says, "My Ruth, my Rahel, Esther, Bathsheba, thou psalm of fabled perfection. From Genesis to Revelation, listen not to the voice of this infidel." Lakunle talks as if beauty can only be described in terms of foreign women and not African women. Clearly, he has what can be best described as colonial mentality, and as usual, Sidi's answer is a straightforward rejection of this attitude. Sidi says, "Now, that's your other game, giving me funny names you picked up in your wretched books. My name is Sidi, and now let me be. My name is Sidi, and I am beautiful." It is at this stage, when the young girl is filled with conceit, that Sadiku announces to her that Baroka wishes to marry her. But Sidi at this moment is too intoxicated with her own newly discovered beauty to consider the old Baronka's offer. Indeed, at this moment, she does not think there's a man on earth who is good enough for her. The sun maybe, but a mere man never. Here, wole soyinka is gently making fun of the vanity of youth, and the way Sidi worships herself is quite amusing. She says, "To think I took no notice of my velvet skin, how smooth it is, and no man ever thought to praise the fullness of my breast." Sadiku attempts to tempt Sidi with a description of the kind of life that awaits her as the old chief's wife, but ironically, Sadiku begins by telling the young girl that she will enjoy when the prospective husband dies. Imagine that, persuading a young girl to marry a man by telling her what she will get when the man dies. It is like saying, "The man I am asking you to marry is really a dying man." And it is here that Sidi reveals that she has learned something from Lakunle. She seems to have acquired a quite untraditional disregard for the authority and dignity of the chief. Sidi says, "He seeks to have me as his property. Where am I strayed beneath his jealous hold? Ah, Sadiku, the schoolman here has taught me certain things, and my image has taught me all the rest." Sidi seems here to see the chief not as the revered custodian of the tradition of the people, but inasmuch as the same way Lakunle sees him, as a pampered dirty old man who flatters his dying manhood by possessing young girls. Sidi's disrespect for the chief shocks the traditionally minded Sadiku, who blames Lakunle for it. Typically, Lakunle retreats in panic as Sadiku advances on him, and it is Sidi who rescues him. It is clear from this scene that Sidi uses language in a more effective manner than Lakunle. Her images have more freshness and power from the simple reason that they are more original and drawn from her immediate environment, unlike Lakunle's, which are second-hand, taken from books and other Western works. The description of the age difference between Baroka and Sidi, given by Sidi to Sadiku, shows her own vital youthfulness as opposed to Baronka's decayed old age. She says, "Compare my image and your Lord's, an age of difference. I am the twinkle of a jewel, but he is the hindquarter of a lion." The final image of Baroka is especially cheeky. The chief, who sees himself as a lion, is described by Sidi as a mere part of the carcass of an animal. And when Sadiku plays her last card, asking the young girl if she will at least have supper with Baroka, Sidi's response is hilarious because it is so unconventional. Surely, Sidi knows that the fact that Baroka is married is not an issue here. In a traditional polygamous situation, he can marry as many women as he wishes. Sidi is merely playing when she says she doesn't sup with married men. Lakunle, ever jealous of Baroka, then recounts the story, told in a mime, of how the chief prevented the railway, a symbol of progress, from passing through Ilunjili, suggesting hereby that Baroka is an enemy of progress. But there are two things wrong with Lakunle's account. First of all, Baroka is not there to defend himself, and when later in the play he presents his point of view, we find that he is not exactly against progress. Secondly, Lakunle's excessive language, as usual, has an effect of making his story sound ridiculous. Lakunle says, "They marked the route with stakes, ate through the jungle, and began the tracks. Trade, progress, adventure, success, civilization, fame, international conspicuosity. It was all within the grasp of Ilunjili." Once again, the pompous expression, international conspicuosity, takes away the seriousness of what he's saying and diminishes it. Besides, he reveals here his envy of the old man and wants to know the secret of Baronka's success with women. He senses quite rightly that the old man has something he doesn't have. Lakunle says, "Ah, sometimes I wish I had led his kind of life. Such luscious bosom makes his nightly pillow. I am sure he keeps a timetable, just as I do at school, only way to ensure fair play. He must be healthy to keep going as he does. I don't know what the women see in him. His eyes are small and always red with wine, and he must possess some secret. No, I don't envy him. Just the one woman for me. Alone I stand, for progress, with Sidi, my chosen soulmate, the one woman of my life. Sidi, Sidi, where are you?" The ridiculous man does not even realize that his supposed soulmate has abandoned him on stage. Poor man. Act 2 closes with a scene in which we see Baroka, the lion of Ilunjili, in bed, being ministered unto by his current favorite. It is important to note that even the old chief does not escape Soyinka's satirical treatment. It is obvious that, throughout, the play is a satire on the kind of Africans who adopt Western attitude without understanding them, and who as a result is neither one thing or the other. In this scene, however, it is the old ruler who is shown to be over-pampered and spoiled. He is lying in his bed, having the hair of his armpits pulled out by his current favorite. He has to endure the pain of having the hair painfully pulled out. He endures this quite painful operation with a sensual "ah," as presumably intended to show how tough he is. But the scene also displays his excessive sensuality. Indeed, The whole scene is Soyinka's satirical portrait of a traditional African ruler, showing his excessive love of pleasure and his overindulgence in it. Sadiku comes to inform Baroka of Sidi's impudent refusal of his offer. First, he is outraged and makes a speech in which he proclaims all the great feats he has performed in recent months, including his strength in bed. Baroka says, "Does any of my wives report a failing in my manliness? The strongest of them all still wearies long before the lion does, and so would she, had I the briefest chance to teach the unflinched birdling the lack of wisdom to embrace the richness mustiness of age." In his angry frustration, his cunning mind conceives a plan. He announces with great show of confidentiality to Sadiku that he is in fact impotent. Baroka says, "The time has come when I can fool myself no more. I am no man, Sadiku. My manhood ended near a week ago." Sadiku's response to Baroka's announcement is the point where sexual theme, the theme of the battle of the sexes, is made more explicit. She is happy about Baroka's supposed impotence and sees it as a victory for women. In her view, it is women who always win. Though men rave and brag about their strength, the final victory, she claims, always goes to women who are claimed to be the weaker sex, but in reality are the strong ones. Here, the readers notice that with each act, the plot is carried forward with an introduction of another factor. Baroka's rumored impotence will certainly entice the curious Sidi to come and mock him, and in that confrontation, the play will come to its climax and move swiftly to its resolution. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share this video.